Well, originally, about 10 years ago, I wanted to create a game or system that supported my then Roblox group, which I had led for several years up to that point. So I started building different medieval castles and cities and associating myself with other medieval groups and created one of the first group genres on the website. Through that, it evolved and evolved, and eventually someone had the idea that we should make this into an RPG. At first, we sort of laughed it off, but as time progressed, I really took a lot of time to consider what it would be like if we expanded this game and this massive universe I'd spent 10 years primarily building and doing world building for. What if we expanded that into a massive RPG? What would it look like? Could we do this on the Roblox platform? And after coming in contact with Trav and Zach and Andrew and others and starting to pitch ideas off of them and start to bring concepts to life, we actually were able to create exactly what we originally theorized, a massive MMORPG on the Roblox platform.
Years ago, when I was a kid, I joined a group on Roblox where I met my friend Colton. Basically, we would just go around and raid other groups and have fun as a small little community. Eventually, Colton wanted to expand on that idea. We ended up creating a larger community of groups that would later transform into a game. At the time, a lot of people were skeptical about it, but I believe it was totally necessary for the groups within the community and game to survive. And frankly, it was fun. It was very fun. I enjoyed myself immensely. I would pop in and out over the course of a few years, but then Colton later reintroduced me to the whole community and game, and I got more involved, and eventually, after doing work with the community, Colton invited me to come out here.
After a while of being absent from the game, I decided to come back during the pandemic to see how everything was going. And I saw that Colton was working on a new game and got into contact with him. And he discovered that I was a music composer and asked me if I could work with him on his new project.
Colton was looking for scripters, programmers for his game that he was making on Roblox. I had just dropped out of college because I couldn't afford it, loans to pay, working as an assistant manager at Domino's. I really just didn't have the free time to be able to come on the project. Well, a few months later, and I was in a little bit better of a financial position, I saw that they were still at it. They're still working on this game, and they'd come a very long way since the last time I had checked. And they're very passionate about it. And Colton still is extremely passionate about it, and that's why I'm still on the project. Well, I saw that, and I saw that they still needed more technical advice and help, and it's always what I wanted to do, so I came onto the project.
A good friend of mine, Travis, I've had talks with him about the company. It sounded pretty cool, and I hadn't been on Roblox in a while, but I missed building, had a good passion for it. So I talked to him, see if they need any builders, and yeah, kind of got started with that and set up an interview with Colton.
He knew that I was a game developer. So one day he called me up and asked if I'd like to test out his new game, and I said sure. And I was hooked immediately by the enormous map, by the gameplay, by the scripts, and I knew that it was something I wanted to work on.
I think our goals with Lionhearts are very simple. We're going to make the most massive, most complete, and most pristine MMORPG that's ever been seen on the Roblox platform. We're attempting to make a AAA title in the Roblox engine, and I think it can be done. A lot of people think that's a very ambitious idea. The problem with ambition and where it becomes problematic is when a person who has an ambitious idea, talk to many game devs who do have ambitious ideas, but they do not follow through on it. 6 months down the road, they hit a stumbling block and they give up. I've hit many of those and I've made many mistakes, as I openly admit. But the key is that I keep pushing forward and the company keeps pushing forward, and I won't be satisfied, and I know the company and the users won't be either, until we reach that perfect product, that AAA product on the Roblox engine.
My role has evolved in many ways. I used to only do community management, just engaging and interacting with the community. Now I do environmental design, 3D design, terrain. I'm hoping to learn more. I'm hoping to expand my skill set, continue to work on the game as much as I can. I'm passionate about it. I enjoy doing it. It's very fun, frankly. Happy it came out here.
As a sound designer, I create sound effects that make the game come alive. As a music composer, I create music that serves as an ambience to the game and also sets the mood for the player.
When I first came out of the project, I realized that we needed to rewrite a lot of our code and do things in a slightly different way in order to, be able to accommodate the kind of scale that we're going for with this game. We're going for a massive scale MMORPG, so we need to establish all the foundational tools in order to be able to do that. So, my first few months here, that's what I was doing. Now that we have things kind of, figured out, structured and organized in such a way that it is easy to add things that we need to add, mostly what I do now is focus on maintaining the structure and organization of the code base so that nothing gets messed up. As we have more people come in and working on the code, really I additionally help manage those people, assign them work. I write technical specifications to explain exactly what they need to be doing and how they need to do it and how it should be organized, all of that.
Game development and the life of a game developer, the owner of a game development studio, is a lot different than one might expect. And I think there's a lot of notions and preconceptions that are just straight up not true. Although the job is fun, as many would suspect, it's also incredibly stressful. And it's incredibly intensive in a lot of different ways. My job is not as simple as developing a game. I also have to coordinate with people, find developers, manage people, make sure they're staying on task, handle payments, and organize community things. So I'm really in charge of a lot of things, and the buck does stop with me. Something that I try to implement is a decentralized command where I have many people that can alleviate some of this burden off my shoulders that I trust and that could probably do a better job than me on those specific tasks. But it's not really about doing one thing every day over and over again. It's about being versatile and adapting and doing what's actually needed rather than just the same monotonous task. And most importantly, it's about priorities.
In terms of the company culture at Credenzio Studios, I think there's a big emphasis on bettering oneself and their work ethics. And it's important because it really contributes to the team building and encouragement among everyone a part of the team. And everyone kind of takes responsibility for the issues that they cause and overall issues within the game and the company. And I think that's very important because it encourages everyone to be responsible and help each other.
It was my first actual job, but as I went about it, I realized that this is the first company I've seen which isn't just focused on making money. Lots of efforts has been put in by Colton into educating and bettering the developers at the company, not only from a game developing standpoint, but also on a deeper mental and personal level through valuable books and free online lessons. As I've been working here for 9 months, I've truly learned and I'm continuing to learn what discipline and hard work is.
I value it over any individual in the company. I value it over any one thing we're working on or any of our individual tenants. The culture itself embodies the whole studio. So being in line with the company culture is being in line with our tenants. Those tenants help guide our ethics and make sure that we are taking the most moral and deliberate course to our goals. When somebody is not in line with the culture of a company, or when a company doesn't value its culture, what you see is that there's no coherence and there's no cohesive bond between individuals at the company. I've made sure to emphasize over and over again how important our company culture is. Trying to hold a high standard so we can all benefit from a collective identity that pushes us forward.